where I think if you have more of the maps like this, and this map is more in line with the rest of our maps, you know, I think INnoVation's a little bit better. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there's got to be a reason why he's choosing the builds that he's choosing. Maybe he doesn't feel as confident as I feel like he should be after seeing what he did in Game 2.
Well, he's doing the aggressive build this game, right? The Siege Shank Marine push with a Viking like we saw in the previous from Cure. So let's see how this goes down. Cure has no vision of this. INnoVation has that tall grass in the center. So this is going to hit Cure before he really knows what's what. He might just die to this just like INnoVation just died to this.
Yeah, that would be in theme with everything else that's happening today. Yeah, that Liberator actually just grazed by the army without seeing it. Oh, dude, this angle's so good!
Yeah. Oh, but he comes too far into the grass. Takes some big tank volleys. But you know what? He got a decent amount of Marines there.
Sure.
And this is problematic.
Well, the Marine count's thinned out, and without Marines, it's pretty hard to hold your ground in a push.
Oh my
Meanwhile,
God.
these SCVs are getting gunned down one by one. Even the ones still mining gas, not a moment of delay in these shots as the SCV death count is up to 8 now. But this is a pretty exposed expansion. The Liberator now going to go over here to the second base.
Yeah, the Liberator really makes this into something. Look at that. He has the landed Viking, has a single SCV. I thought he was going to send that Viking home, actually, to be honest, but doesn't do so.
So there's been more workers killed off over here for INnoVation, but INnoVation's the one with a more dominant push coming forward. Oh my gosh, is the one Marine going to kill this? This will completely stop the damage done here by Cure.
That is a gigantic deal, and INnoVation continuing to push forward. He's lost so many SCVs so far, but he's getting on top of the production.
Yeah, and you know, if he lifts off that factory, he loses the add-on, so he can't make more tanks. I actually think that this may be a fatal blow here, where INnoVation can actually win this game.
Oh, look at this, though.
Wait.
Cure is actually...
that.
Oh, Cure actually wins the air battle there, Viking versus Viking, with his clutch repair, and now takes down the Liberator.
He's going to leapfrog the siege tanks up over here in range of the refinery, but he does not have vision of the high ground.
Well, this little Marine comes up, gives him it momentarily. Oh, bad things are happening to INnoVation right now. Cure has taken a bit of a beating, but has way more workers.
Another Viking's out here, but it is not going to, I think, fare well against the other Viking that's up here that can be repaired by the SCVs.
Especially considering he was targeting down the Raven and did not kill it. Everything going wrong for INnoVation here. Cure looking to secure his place in the finals.
INnoVation now abandoning this position. Humiliated after that push, really. He was not able to do the damage he needed to do. Workers now, it's 29-15 with Cure in a very clear lead. He doesn't have his expansion up yet, but I think that's fine. He's going to lift off and go there now. And I'm even surprised that INnoVation sieged up out here. I think this is clearly not...
He's looking to catch anything.
People tend to joke about INnoVation being more robotic, but he came in here with a lot of creativity. And that's how he managed to get to the Final Four of GSL. But in this series against Cure, everything seems to bounce off of Cure.
Yeah.
Okay, here we have the first real attack here, and I believe that there's nothing in the main.
Yeah.
Or there's Marines coming here now, but remember, Stim is done, and it is not done for INnoVation. Only Cure has Stim.
Yeah, this is really bad right now. Loses 5 more SCVs. He was just catching up to the number he needs on the 2 bases. He's going to try some counter-harassment. We'll see what he can get done.
This is a cheap and safe way to try to slow your opponent down on their side. You just chuck an auto turret out here. He'll probably do one here and then another inside the main.
Yeah, it's something at least, right? Look at that. That's actually 4 SCVs.
5 even. At this point in time, you really got to take what you can get. And I'll tell you what, man, it basically worked out because their worker count is now even.
Yeah, and that is kind of a big deal in a way. In fact, INnoVation even has more workers now, but a big part of it as well is when those workers died. And the earlier workers die in the game, the more influential that is for the flow of everything. And you can see that in just the upgrade speed of Cure, the production facilities. He's just got more of them right now. His army supply is a lot later. This is all just because he killed the workers earlier.
And it looks like Cure's going to continue to go for a control game here. He's pushing out. He's confirming that there's no third base, and he has every intention to make sure there's never going to be a third base. Now, in a moment like this, we have to imagine INnoVation probably itching to try to stretch out on the map. And what Cure wants to do is dive in here But if this is spotted, okay, he needs to insta-unload that. He does not lose anything. Beautifully done. Well, is Cure going to commit here?
I don't know. The tanks are actually placed reasonably well here from INnoVation. If you can get a nice edge, it might work out. But look, with those Vikings, with those, oh my God, the
so
Ravens
he's going to draw
as well.
some attention over here. Oh my God. Okay, one medevac is taken out, another is disabled and then shot down.
And another one too. Oh my God, INnoVation, just beautifully done. But is that enough? Kier still gets a decent amount of units out. Also has those Stim Marines at the natural going to work.
It looks like now this small army is marooned over here and soon to be executed by the remaining units over here for INnoVation. Now, there's still some infantry over at the natural expansion. We have 9 kills, 10. The number continues to rise. But that was a huge loss for Cure.
That was.
Cure had basically taken his advantage and built it up to this moment.
Yeah.
In a matter of seconds, it seemed almost impulsively, decided to pick up and dive into the heart of INnoVation's base where he was basically fell into a trap.
Yeah.
The medevacs were disabled. They could not unload. He surrounded it. He killed it off. And now INnoVation, at least on paper, appears to be ahead. But there's still more room for attacks here. I think INnoVation, though, similar to Game 2, his patience is paying off.
Yeah, well, he was forced into a patient stance here because he took so much damage in the early game.
All INnoVation has to do to win is just get really behind early on and not die, and then stay in the game a long time, and he's got this.
That was a bit of a throw there from Cure. The thing is, he was trying to end the game. Because if all that stuff unloads, the game is his, right? He goes to the finals.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that sounds tempting, right?
Yeah,
you want to go to your first finals? It's like, well, all I need is for this stuff to unload.
Maybe I could just end it right now, and if he's not ready, I win.
Yeah, and he stemmed Marines in and tried to draw his attention elsewhere, like you pointed out, but INnoVation was too quick for him. And now suddenly we're looking at a game that's, I mean, it's pretty even. Look at these upgrades. They're very close. Look at these supplies. They're identical.
And here's what I got to say about this. It does seem like if INnoVation and Cure are even Artosis, that means INnoVation is ahead.
It might. We're going to see about that in a moment here. INnoVation stemming down, pushing back this small harassment force, getting ready to set up his 4th base. Ooh. Cure. I mean, I see that he has a 4th command center almost done, but here's the thing. He has, oh my God, he's actually stemming and running into here.
Well, there's only tanks here. It looks like the infantry is going to show up a little bit later.
You know, tanks are pretty good.
Yeah, they are. It's funny because...
like, what did he kill there? A couple Marines and a tank?
He killed a tank and damaged the hull on some of the other tanks.
I got to tell you, if Cure doesn't go to the finals, he's going to regret this game for the rest of his life.
Oh, for sure, man. To impulsively dive in the main like that. It was needless, too.
Even that move we just saw.
You don't have to attack him, guys. If you're ahead like that, you can keep expanding. They got to figure out.
And he's playing so timidly. Like, he could have built that on location. He's had map control the entire time.
He's being a captain careful here. That Cure just keeps attacking in, because every time Cure attacks in, he just loses more army. Okay, we have another attack. This is the same tanks.
Yeah, the same 3.
Yeah.
I hope he didn't even repair them. I
Yeah.
hope they're just sitting there like, nah, we like our scars. All right, INnoVation going for a counter here.
And this is a naked expansion. There's nothing defending this whatsoever, so I think he's just going to, he's going to kill the SCVs and then kill the CC.
Oh, man.
Oh,
good damage here.
Later.
Now he's going to show him how to unload in a main base.
Watch this. This is how I unload.
I'm not sure if this is the greatest attack from INnoVation here, but it's, you know what? Maybe it is.
It's the greatest attack.
It is the greatest attack. You're right. I'm sorry. And he kills the Vikings that were behind him. Cure F2ing back into his main.
Leave. He's like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Goes kills another command center.
Yeah.
He's going for Ravens at this point. He's about to have his 3-3 done. INnoVation really taking control of this game.
Now, with Cure denying that drop, chasing it away, it looks like he wants to attack it again here. But INnoVation's actually ahead on all upgrades, by the way.
Wow.
He literally is...
I wonder if this game is going to make Cure's mentality exploded. That's my real question. All right, Cure with a gigantic amount of Marines actually getting in. A nice concave on top of the siege tanks.
Yeah, that's
but
upgrade.
Still plenty for INnoVation.
Yeah,
splatters it. Has 1 million Vikings in there. 1 million Vikings.
That army went through a stump grinder. I mean,
it really did.
He could not have had a better arc, a better spread, and everything still died. Again, though, you know, upgrades really matter. They're just now Kira seems to be catching up. And I don't know, man. Kira's like gonna go even further forward. I mean, the supplies really do tell the story here.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep pushing with less.
Well, he's looking for non-existent holes right now.
Yeah, he's walking into the jaws of the beast, Artosis.
Yeah. Okay.
And I believe this is an easy 1-2 punch for INnoVation to just finally push across the map, do some damage of his own.
Yeah, look at this, the Vikings spreading out, pushing back those medevacs. Complete air domination, complete ground domination from INnoVation.
So what now from INnoVation? Does he want to give up this position or try to push even further forward? Remember, guys, the tanks can actually fire farther than their vision. So the Vikings or the Ravens or the medevacs, but usually the Vikings, allow for an easy spot where they're having to scan you to see where your tanks are, but the air units for you could just spot and allow you to set up pretty easily and stay ahead.
He's got a few Ravens here. A lot of options open for INnoVation. Kira walking around the other side of the map. Sensor towers are really sticking out right now, so it's hard to actually get in anywhere without your opponent responding quickly.
Right.
So you're sending one Marine in at a time, you start kind of making those red blips on the mini-map. Maybe you can overwhelm INnoVation in that regard a little bit so you can pop in somewhere else.
Okay, takes out the tanks. I like what Kira's trying to do, but it seems like INnoVation is in beast mode right now. I mean, he's just not having any of it, you know. And look at this, the Vikings can come in here. They can then pick off the medevacs.
That was good pickoffs, though, by Kira as well. He did get
Sure.
rid of the Ravens, which are definitely an important late game unit.
So the symbiosis between the Liberators and the siege tanks is huge. You can set up a liberation zone and then put tanks behind it. And if any ground units try to run underneath to shoot down the Liberators, they're going to get wiped out by the
Exactly.
your siege tanks. And really what the goal of the Liberators is to just inch into range of the enemy tanks.
Yeah, you just push them back.
Yeah, safer to use your Liberators than your tanks.
But Liberators are terrible against Vikings, so having that air control is a crucial aspect of this.
Right.
More starports going up right now for INnoVation. Kira just staying on Marine, Medevac, Tank. I think at this point it's the right choice. He can't really catch up on the other air units.
Okay, he's pushed this back a little bit. I think with the siege tank line set up over here, I don't believe he can get any further.
Should be able to keep him back. But look at this. Kind of a nice move here from Kira. He's in between two bases, doing what he can. He gets one of the command centers. It's one of the less important things there, but it's something at least.
All right, these Vikings can immediately wipe out these... kind of a funny moment there. So, INnoVation is pushing back. He's fighting hard. It does seem like Kira is just barely on the cusp of death here.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many moments where, like, if Kira doesn't defend this perfectly, he's going to be in trouble. I don't think INnoVation's going to push through this central area. It probably would behoove him to try to go over here to the top. Pushing through the upper left side of the map and then hanging right.
Well, I kind of like, in a way, because INnoVation's army right now, as long as he's attacking the army of Kira, he's backing Kira up into his expansions because he's got that air control, which is so critical. Look at this. Just sieges up, you have to run your tanks. And then he moves his tanks up. He's just, you know, he's leapfrogging forward and there's no stopping him, it looks like. Okay, finally a very nice move here from Kira. He is going to pick off this expansion.
He does take that CC out. That's a pretty big victory there for Kira. But he cannot attack further than that. Again, INnoVation with air dominance, it basically means that any position that Kira claims on the map, especially if it's in INnoVation's territory, he can't keep it.
Yeah.
And although Kira's doing a really good job, I mean, here's another little victory, taking out this command center, it does seem like he's hemorrhaging a decent chunk of his army.
But if he keeps killing bases, maybe this gets turned around. You
It
know,
might.
he's actually killed a lot in those last few moments, and he's slowing down the attacks of INnoVation. INnoVation hasn't actually killed a base in quite some time. Not breaking that one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kira's keeping his own bases and eliminating some of INnoVation's.
Now,
Still, though, INnoVation just has a more cost-efficient set of units.
Yeah, Kira actually has way more of the map now, which is kind of crazy. These bases that I thought were pretty much insured for INnoVation the whole time have been denied. But how much was sacrificed over here for Kier to get this position? Because, okay, GG, I was going to lead